The first one we're going to jump into is a personal favorite of mine. He was kind of a discovery of our league for me, and his name is Hao-Yu Lee. And Hao-Yu Lee is 5'9", 190 pounds. He's 20 years old. He came out of New Taipei, Taiwan, and his profile's good. Let's put it that way. It's good. It's not going to blow you out of the water, but let's run through it here real quick. I'm going to lump it all together. If you guys want to break it down year by year, you certainly can, but I'm going to lump it all into the 607 at-bats that he's had over 3 years since 2021. He's got 607 at-bats. His average is 282, on-base percentage of 376, slugging 432 with an on-base plus slugging of 808. He has 16 home runs, 30 stolen bases. He has been caught 12 times. He has struck out 137 times and walked 79, 31 doubles, and 6 triples. I am a huge fan of him. I think he's only just scratching the surface. I've read a lot about him. Things that have been said is he's not a speed guy. The 30 steals that he does have are kind of not a farce, but maybe inflated a little bit. Yeah, it's telling that he's been caught 12 times. But I think he's got good power, not great power, but to 10, 15 home runs a year, maybe a little bit higher than that, and a 280 average. I'm super excited for him, and he did get traded to my Tigers. I'm super excited. Do you guys have anything on Hao-Yu Lee?
So I'll take the first stab at it. He was one of our top 10s last year.
Yep.
I was looking for a big breakout this year that I don't think we got, and actually, I would probably characterize it as a somewhat disappointing season. He started out repeating high A after finishing there last year, and he stayed there through the whole season. And that's part of why I feel like it was a somewhat disappointing year. He does have really good plate discipline. I think there is some decent power in there, even though he only had 6 home runs this year and about a half a season's worth of plate appearances. I think there is a little bit more juice there that he can tap into. As you mentioned, speed is probably not going to be a big part of his game. He's projecting for, you said 10 to 15 home runs, and he's projecting for 11, so right there. But the plate discipline is the thing that really is carrying the profile, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If I were to add anything else, it's that he gets a comp on STS to Aaron Boone, which I think is a really nice comp. And if he has that kind of outcome, obviously that's somebody you want on your team.
Yeah. So I prefaced the whole segment that we're doing tonight on second baseman being a pretty big black hole in the MLB. And I think Hao-Yu Lee with this profile would boost that profile immensely. I think he would be a starter instantly for the Tigers in 2 years. But the Tigers don't just have Hao-Yu Lee. They have some other players on their farm. One that we're going to talk about tonight that, might block him a little bit. But Ryan, do you have anything on Hao-Yu Lee that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, I like Ross. I think he has a little bit more power potential than he has shown so far. It looks like he's not pulling the ball nearly enough, especially in the air. Obviously, if you can get to that, then you can, like you said, 10, 15 home runs. I can see him hitting eventually. But I mean, he's not that great of a fielder. I think he's going to have a tough time breaking through.
Sure.
Because if he doesn't play second, he doesn't have the arm for third or short. Then you're looking at corner outfielder, and that's the profile doesn't play well in a corner outfield spot.
Yeah.
But it's the Tigers, so who knows?
That
But
was a jab.
Well, I think we've talked about this before. I've picked the Tigers to win the AL Central in 24, so I guess I'm not too low on them.
Yeah.
But no, he's still really young. So I mean, 20 years old, and he's coming over. He's only been in the States for what, 2 years. Most of it was during COVID. So I'm willing to give him a chance.
And you said it perfectly right there. He's 20 years old. He'll be 21 on February 3rd, 2024. We might be seeing double-A stats next year as a 21-year-old.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, I think that's a given. We're going to see double-A stats.
I'll get to go see him. I'm right there in Erie, so.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I would love to hear a breakdown on how you lead. I'm a fan. But I want to hammer this home. I think he's a good player. I do not think he's a great player. Not yet, at least. He could certainly surprise me. I think he's a solid all-around player.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning that he has dropped a little bit in these rankings, these top 10 rankings from last year, which isn't a great sign, but also he's still in the top 10.
He's still,
yeah.
Algorithm sees something.
To me,
right.
For me, he's a go get him. And I say that because I think he's an everyday MLB player. I think he's just going to be solid. He's going to hurt your team. He's not going to quite help your team, but he's not going to, beat it up. For me, he's a go get him. You guys, I'm sure you're kind of a watch and see.
He's not going to cost you much. So in fact, you could call him maybe a buy low potential, but don't give up an asset to gain a question mark. That's my stance on it.
No, he's the perfect guy for a throw-in that you need, just to push it over the top, right? And I love going after the guys like that.
Yeah. I like that. That's a really good comment as a throw-in player, and a valuable throw-in player.
Because what the other owner is going to do is he's going to go to Fangraphs and look at, he's in high A again and didn't hit as well as last year. You can most of the time snag somebody pretty cheap like that.
Yep.
Love
Agreed.
it. Love it.